And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Flying Doghouse. We're sitting on the runway 22 at Key West Naval Air Station. We're going to make our way up the East Coast. We're going to have a fly up to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. So, thought it might be fun to kick back and burn off some work stuff and just enjoy a good fly. So we are using some Navy colors tonight. So test pilot training school livery here to mix it up a little bit. And we've already received our takeoff clearance, so we will be departing shortly. And we did release a quick look video here on the T-38 earlier this week. If you haven't seen that, go check that out on the channel. We are ready for departure here, so we'll be contacting departure. We'll maintain runway heading here for a couple of minutes, and then we'll switch over to 124.025 and make our way up the eastern seaboard here. So I think we're ready to roll. All right, let's open it up. Still need to do some tweaks to my rotor pedals for this plane. And we are up. Gear coming up.
Speed racer 7, contact
livery,
departure.
I think. Yeah, Key West departure, Speed Racer 783. Departing Naval Air Station, Key West. Making our way Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Have a great day.
Speed Racer 783, Navy Key West departure, radar contact.
Radar contact, roger. Speed Racer 783. All right, make our turn here. And we are all the way up to 14,000 feet before we knew it. So this plane is quite fun to fly for sure. Mostly for tonight, we're just going to enjoy scenery. And it looks like our stream health is good tonight, so that's a positive. We'll swing our way over here a little closer to the coastline. And I'm going to expect several different handoffs here. Key West departure, Speed Racer 783, requesting altitude at our discretion. Please advise. Yeah, Key West departure, Speed Racer 783, radio check.
Speed Racer 7, loud clear.
I'm going to adjust the volume of Sayintentions. It seemed a little low to me. So, anyway, not the most important thing on the flight, but I did bump the volume up a little bit for that. So the weather is quite different in the Carolinas today than it has been over the past 2 weeks. We've ended up with freezing rain 2 weeks ago and then snow last weekend to the tune of 14.5 inches here at the doghouse. That's a very, very unusual snowfall for us here in the Carolinas. That's a 15 to 20 year event. So lots of snowmen and all other sorts of fun winter things happening here. All right, we're just going to make our way up the coast here. So kick back and relax and enjoy the flight. And we do have some interesting things coming up on the channel. I have the opportunity to do a sponsored video. So this will be a first for the channel. So we're going to take a look at a piece of freeware or payware scenery that was just released. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag on it. I think people will enjoy it. I think if you enjoy history, then this is going to be something that I would think that you might want to add, particularly if you like vintage aircraft.
Contact Homestead departure on 123.8.
Contacting Homestead departure on 123.8, Speed Racer 783. Homestead departure, Speed Racer 783 is with you 3,500 feet northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good day. And our volume is still being quirky. As far as Sayintentions is concerned. So I don't know that I talked about that, but we do have Sayintentions loaded for the flight tonight. And we'll be conversing with AI ATC as we make our way up the coast. And we are in the latest famous flyer, P-38A from Blackbird. Available in the marketplace. And it's quite good. I have enjoyed flying it. So I've spent part of the evenings here this week tweaking video settings, trying to get my situation situated again with DLSS and resolution and all those fun things. So continuing to make tweaks with that. Also continuing to enjoy much improved Flightsim 2024 experience as well since the latest update. So there's that. We also have a Pilot's Lounge edition that I'll be working on. I'll be incorporating that that payware that we're taking a look at as well. So that video will be flagged as a sponsored event. I did receive the add-on directly from the developer, so full disclosure on that. So we'll take a look at it and pass along what we think. And so far, my impression is it's going to be good fun. I think people are going to enjoy it. And it does appeal to what I would call a niche kind of level of interest. Again, historical focus. It's quite charming.
Speed Racer 7, contact Homestead departure on 123.8.
Okay, more comms. 123.8. Homestead departure. Good evening. Speed Racer 783.
Speed Racer 783, Homestead departure. Good morning, Tavernier, altimeter 29901.
Tavernier, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. So I did put the video up to be a night flight. So I'm going to bounce around with the weather. Good morning, Homestead 783, Speed Racer. And we're using flow. Yeah, here we go. We'll stick on golden hour for right now. Always a good choice. And if you're joining us on the live stream or watching the replay, we are using Sayintentions for our AI ATC, and we're in the T-38A, making our way up from Key West to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. And I do have live traffic turned on, so you're going to see real folks flying around with their name tags, and they're on, as well as live traffic. So
Speed Racer 7, remain clear of the Miami class Bravo airspace. Remain this frequency.
Homestead departure, Speed Racer 783, requesting clearance into the Bravo.
Speed Racer 7, cleared into Bravo. Remain VFR, maintain 7700 or below. Key Largo altimeter 29901.
Key Largo 29901, maintain 7700 or below. Speed Racer 7. Where are we at? We're at 8,000 feet, so we'll drop down a bit. Homestead departure, Speed Racer 783, requesting altitude change to 10,000 feet.
Speed Racer 7, climb and maintain 10,000.
Climb and maintain 10,000, Speed Racer 783. I wanted to get up above this cloud deck. And we'll have some night flying on the trip as well. Continue to make our way northbound.
Speed Racer 7, altitudes at your discretion.
Altitudes at our discretion, Speed Racer 7. All right, so that's good. They've given us some flexibility in terms of where we are at, and we will take advantage of that. We'll sit back and enjoy the pinks and the purples and the yellows and the oranges of the sunset. So we are not using any kind of auto assist here. We are stick flying this whole flight. So have a lot of things to keep us busy.
Speed Racer 7, contact Miami Center on 124.7.
Contacting Miami Center 124.7, Speed Racer 783. So we'll have quite a few handoffs here for a bit. Miami Center, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you, 17,000 feet, making our way northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Miami Center, good evening.
Keeping it light and conversational. And we are being a little bit naughty. We are supersonic. Come back on the engines here. We're waking up the whole eastern seaboard here with a boom. There we go. A little bit better on the aviating here. So we did do this leg on our East Coast cross country tour that we did back in the late fall, early winter. I just wanted an excuse to go from one naval air station to another, and this one, what popped in my head. This is a fun route to fly regardless. Lots of airfields to explore here. Well, I do have sea traffic and air traffic turned on. We'll see some boat names as we make our way to the north as well. Our next navigational waypoint will be in the vicinity of Palm Beach.
Speed Racer 7, contact Miami departure on 119.7.
Speed Racer 7, frequency change 119.7. Good evening. Miami departure, Speed Racer 783 is with you. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Miami departure, good evening, Pompano Beach, altimeter 29901.
Pompano Beach, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. Good evening. So in the way of aircraft news, I think we are closer on the release of the B-25 Mitchell from Aeroplane Heaven. I've been teasing that this week. So looking forward to that. I'll be picking that up and putting that one in the hangar as well. And Microprose has released another update for the B-17.
Speed Racer 7, contact Palm Beach approach on 127.35.
And as I mentioned, we are going to have a lot of handoffs as we make our way up into Georgia from Florida. Palm Beach approach, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you, 10,000 feet, making our north to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Palm Beach approach, good evening, Pompano Beach, altimeter 29901.
Pompano, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 7. So this is not fully modeled, right? So this is one of the famous flyers. Famous Flyer 13, I believe, if I have that right. If I don't, let me know in the comments. But I believe that is correct. And it's quite fun. It's good. It's good stuff. The huffer cart is a hoot, so you need to hook that up, and we're going to go from cold and dark to get the engine started. That's a prerequisite. And most of the things in the cockpit work, but not everything, as you would expect, right? We'll continue to make our way northbound here, so we're making our way to Cherry Point Naval Air Station from Key West Naval Air Station in the T-38A. And we're using Sayintentions for our air traffic control this evening. Just kicking back and having a fun fly here tonight. If you're watching the replay, thanks for being along. If you're on the live stream, thanks for being here with us. Okay. Add some more thrust here. All right, we're just going to kick back and relax and enjoy the scenery as we make our way to the north. And we'll have some more handoffs here with ATC coming to you shortly. I guess we can change the angle and look at boat names as we go by. Wave to Miss Kelly and Mad Mac. All right, so we're coming up on West Palm Beach. I need to find some long-running loop background music. I'm going to take a look for some of that this weekend. Some of these cross-country things. Speaking of, we have not abandoned the continuation of the USA trip. We are, I believe when we last stopped, we were in Vermont. We'll continue to be making our way to the west. The Great Lakes region. Make our way over to Chicago. We'll get that live stream scheduled and have that out there next week. Oh, speaking of flying around, we also I'm hosting a group flight over on Virtual Flight Online this weekend. We're doing a night flight in the Washington, D.C. area, so we're going to take a look at some points of interest in D.C. and have a bit of a night fly together. Normally we don't do night group flights, but we're going to give it a shot. And the D.C. areas, particularly in the federal area, it's well lit, right? So we'll hit the memorials and the mall area, the Pentagon, go down the Potomac. Check out some Freeware scenery over at Andrews, Joint Base Andrews. But it'll be a general aviation focused flight. But if you have jet or a vintage military aircraft or your GA aircraft of choice, the length of the flight will be about 2 hours in a GA. So somewhere between 120 and 140 knots. We'll be hanging out and having a fly. So you are more than welcome to join.
Speed Racer 7, contact Palm Beach departure on 132.8.
Comms are on Virtual Flight Online's Discord, so more information available over there. All right. Palm Beach departure, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you. Northbound to Cherry Point.
Speed Racer 783, Palm Beach departure, good evening. Stewart altimeter 29901.
Stewart altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 7. Okay, next on the parade of cities would then be Vero Beach and Melbourne. Oh, there's a tug down below us named Kathleen. And some sort of vessel named Hemlock. Kind of interesting. But flight simming continues to amaze me just how much interactive data this simulator is chewing on and presenting a presentation layer that looks like this. So for those of you who have been around the channel for a long time, you know I've been critical of Flightsim 24, but I do believe we have now entered into the it's going to be a whole lot more fun zone. I'm continuing to tweak and explore settings. The thing that I guess I would mention to folks is don't be too quick to go jump on a new video driver. Give it a minute, let it get settled out. I'm using DLSS 4.5 right now, so I did download the latest driver, and so far, knock on wood, no negative consequence. Your mileage might vary on that. At any rate, I do think for the night flight in DC that I'm hosting on Sunday, I'm going to use, probably going to jump back on a helicopter. I'm probably going to use the MH60 for the flight. That way I can land and jump out and wander around on the ground. Should be great fun. But we'll have built-in landing opportunities for fixed wing folks as well. So that flight plan will be up sometime tomorrow morning, East Coast time, US. A great look here of the intracoastal waterway as we continue to make our way up the Florida coast. So from a scenery development front, we have been working for quite some time on Coast Guard station off the coast of North Carolina on the Outer Banks. And we have been doing some custom stuff to that. So
Speed Racer 7, contact Palm Beach departure on 123.625.
Excited about that. We still got some base scenery kind of stuff to do and some cleanup in the marina around the Coast Guard station, but we hope to have that out soon. Palm Beach departure, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Palm Beach departure. Good evening, Winter Beach altimeter 29901.
Winter Beach to altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. Yeah, so speaking of the Outer Banks, some places on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, they got over a foot of snow. So it was kind of interesting looking at some of the weather cams on the East Coast earlier this week. And quite odd seeing 14 and a half inches of snow out my front door. So we like snow. We just want it to melt and go away
Speed Racer
quickly.
7, contact Orlando approach on 126.025.
And we're going to play handoff bingo here. Orlando approach, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Orlando approach, good evening. Melbourne altimeter 29901.
Melbourne altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. I have a friend of mine at work that lives out at the Corolla Lighthouse. Need to see if he'll shoot me some photos of snow on the beach and around the lighthouse if he took any. That's just got to be totally weird. We've also had some very cold weather here in the Carolinas too. It's we had negative wind chill temperatures for several days in a row with highs in the teens and 20s. It's quite cold. As I hear my friends who live further north laughing. Stop it. But we still have snow lingering, actually. It's been up into the 40s now in Fahrenheit here. A dredger named the Colonel. It's funny. What else would you name your dredger, I guess? Okay, coming up over the top of the Space Coast here. Next major city point will then be Daytona Beach. Yeah, right up over the top of Titusville. Yeah, I was having a conversation today with somebody at work talking about relaxation and flying and what that does, at least specifically to me. I just feel stress just melt away. The noises and the sights and
contact
things.
Orlando departure on 134.905.
So for me, this is a great way to wind down. Okay, contacting Orlando departure on 134.95, Speed Racer 7. Orlando departure, Speed Racer 783 is with you 15,000 feet northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening. And if you're just joining the flight, we are using Sayintentions.
Orlando departure. Good evening, Titusville altimeter 29901.
Titusville altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. So we're using Sayintentions for our flight. We're just making a cross-country trip from Key West Naval Air Station up to Cherry Point. And we're in the famous flyer number 13. We're in the T-38. We are sporting Navy colors today. Thanks for being along on the live stream, and I hope everybody is keeping well. I am continuing to tweak and change settings for graphics presentation purposes. So part of that
contact Jacksonville Center on 134.0.
Part of this flight is for that purpose. Otherwise, I just wanted to fly. So here we are. Thanks for being along. We appreciate it. Jacksonville Center, good evening. Speed Racer 783 with you northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Jacksonville Center, good evening, New Smyrna Beach, altimeter 29901.
New Smyrna Beach, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. So once we resume the cross-country leg that we'll be doing next in the upper portion of the U.S. near the Canadian border, we'll be back in the Beechcraft Baron, the Pro Series from for that flight, and then we'll switch back to the Bonanza. And we'll probably do some flights too with the Cessna 414 that we use for the bulk of the East Coast swing. At any rate, good to have everyone along for the
Speed
flight
Racer 7, contact Daytona departure on 118.85.
And we are again using Sayintentions, so lots of comm traffic here for a bit. Daytona departure, good evening. Speed Racer 783 with you northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening. We'll get the altimeter reading again.
Speed Racer 783, Daytona departure. Good evening, Daytona Beach, altimeter 29901.
Altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. Yeah, we are getting closer and closer to sunset, so enjoy some of that unique lighting while it's lasting. I think the T-38 in the marketplace is like $13 US. I have been pleasantly surprised. Easy for me to say. I would definitely buy this aircraft again in a heartbeat. Well, let's see how we're progressing here. Almost to St. Augustine. I don't think I have plugged this in a while, but great piece of freeware for flight planning and your aircraft tracking is a little nav map. It's available for free. It really should be payware. It's quite well done. We use it for flight planning and such over on Virtual Flight Online. So if you're looking for a place to go fly, if you like airliners, we have a virtual airline. Otherwise, lots of general chatter and conversation around 2020 and 2024 sims. We do host our group flights in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And we do several a week, right? So we are quite active in that regard. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday flights that are recurring. And they take place, depending on the time of the year, either at 1900 or 2000 UTC. And we have some occasional ad hoc invite your friends and channel members to fly along kind of flights. And some occasional special one-offs on
Contact
Saturdays.
Jacksonville Center on 125.905.
Contacting Jacksonville Center on 125.905, Speed Racer 783. Good evening. Jacksonville Center, good evening. Speed Racer 783 with you, northbound. Cherry Point Naval Air Station, currently 18,000 feet.
Speed Racer 783, Jacksonville Center, good evening.
Good evening. Speed Racer 7. So we did get our military VFR clearance when we departed Key West. We have been cleared for altitude at our discretion. We've been cleared through Bravo airspace as we have made our way through the Miami area, and we're just making our way north. And right now I'm hugging the coastline, so. At any rate, if you are on the live stream with us, good evening. Good to have you along. Be curious as if you are on the live stream right now, what have you picked up in the marketplace of late that you were enjoying, or maybe something that you grabbed in the marketplace that you aren't enjoying and have buyer's remorse? The Black Square Bonanza and the Baron that I picked up back in the November time frame have been an absolute joy, and they have been worth the investment. They are not inexpensive by any stretch of the imagination. They have been quite fun. And I'm also a big believer in having aircraft in your hangar that you fly on the regular and you know them like the back of your hand, as you should, right? But right now we're continuing to make our way northbound along with American Airlines Flight 2744. And American Airlines Flight 1155. So we'll have some contrail company as we make our way to the north. Just in my casual, flying around the last couple of weeks, I have noticed that there seems to be more and more people now flying around in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I do a route from Edwards to Nellis. I do it almost every day, and I've just noticed the pickup in the amount of people who are participating in shenanigans over at Nellis in particular. Not so much Edwards. Edwards tends to be a little bit more quiet. There was quite a bit of runway runway buzzing and high-speed passes on the tower this evening earlier. I was tearing around in the F-16. Which is another one of my favorites. It's quite good. And if you want something higher fidelity than that, then go spend about $70 and read a 600-page pilot guide and dig your way into DCS and have some fun configuring controllers. But I'm taking a very, very different track in terms of my DCS journey. I did buy 2 aircraft. I bought the A-10 and also bought the F-16. And I'm starting on the A-10, and that's probably where I'm going to land for a long-term home with that particular platform. Investing some reading time with the manual and still working my way slowly and methodically through getting my controllers set up and trying to start building some muscle memory. At any rate, there are lots of fun things to do in the sim world, that's for sure. And we all enjoy different aspects of this. Now, speaking of, I'll do another plug for Virtual Flight Online. If you like bush flying, we have a flight host that does some incredible stuff on Tuesday at 2000 UTC. So if you fancy having a trip on rough terrain in the Draco or something similar, that is a great bunch. So I want to check that out. All right, I'm going to play Magic
Speed
with
Racer
the
7,
weather.
contact Jacksonville, departure on 121.3.
Now, after this radio frequency change here. Jacksonville departure, Speed Racer 783 with you northbound for Cherry Point Naval Air Station, 14,000 feet. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Jacksonville departure. Good evening, St. Mary's altimeter 29901.
St. Mary's altimeter 29901. Speed Racer 783. Look at that. Magic of flow. All right, make the scenery a little bit more interesting instead of just light points on the ground. Back to sunset.
Speed Racer 7, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
Jacksonville Center, good evening. Speed Racer 783 with you, northbound Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Jacksonville Center. Good evening.
Okay, welcome to Brunswick, Georgia. Next stop, Savannah. Home of the Savannah Bananas. Oh, you might want to have some fun Googling that. I like to think about them being the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. So if you haven't heard of the Bananas, go check that out. Totally unrelated to simming, but should be a fun 5 minutes there on Google. And for those of you who have been along for the ride on the live stream tonight, much appreciate you being here with us. And if this looks of interest to you, please further check out the channel. Lots of new content out there on the site and more coming. And we'd love for you to like and subscribe and comment and interact with us as we continue to move through the flight sim adventure in 2026. So Sayintentions continues to add new features and functions. Lots of updates have taken place in the last several weeks. Continuous push and improvement with the product for sure. And they are not a channel sponsor. I am just a happy customer, and at least for me, this adds a lot to the flight simming experience. They do have a 24-hour free trial.
7, contact Savannah departure on 120.4.
Contacting Savannah departure 120.4, Speed Racer 7. Good evening. Savannah departure Speed Racer 783 is with you northbound for Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Savannah departure. Good evening, Shellman Bluff, altimeter 29901.
Shellman Bluff, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 7. And if you like summertime heat and humidity, this is your place. Savannah and Hilton Head. Yeah, Savannah is a charming old southern city. Lots of points of interest and fun things to see and places to partake of good food. Lots of beaches and golfing. So if you like that, in addition to your flight simming, it is a very cool place to go vacation. Trying to go supersonic here. Back off a little. Spare the good people of Savannah a sonic boom. I have not flown into or out of this airport here in Savannah. And if you are just joining in on the replay, welcome to the Flying Dog House. We're doing a live stream from Key West to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. And we are now just to the south of Hilton Head on the South Carolina coast, making our way northbound. And I do have sea traffic turned on, so say hello to Mr. Loy, the dredger. Keeping those beaches stocked with sand for the summertime. I was on the coast for U.S. Thanksgiving holiday, and we were staying at the beach, and they have been repopulating the beach with sand. So that was interesting. But the North Carolina and the South Carolina beaches are gorgeous. So I'm biased. I am from North Carolina.
7, contact Savannah departure on 125.3.
Contacting Savannah departure 125.3, Speed Racer 7. Yeah, Speed Racer 783. Good evening, Savannah departure. We're with you northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Savannah departure, good evening, Hilton Head Island, altimeter 29901.
Hilton Head Island, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 7. Okay, next up, Kiowa Island. And in keeping with the commentary, if you like golf, that's another place. I think Kiowa Island is probably one of the most gorgeous places I've been to on the planet. So I am very much a beach and seaside person, so I enjoy that quite a bit. There's lots of things to see in the maritime forest in and around Kiowa. Alligator, bobcat, quite a few variety of snakes that you want to stay away from. Sea turtles, pelicans, lots of fishing, skiing, boating, golfing, rent a bike. Right through the island, it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, so we are coming up on Charleston like a freight train, coming over Seabrook and Kiowa right now.
Speed Racer 7, transition through the Charleston AFB Intel class. Charlie airspace is approved. Maintain appropriate VFR altitudes. Remain this frequency.
Cleared into the Charlie airspace, maintaining VFR altitudes. Speed Racer 783. Yeah, it's interesting that sometimes it will automatically do that for you. And quite frankly, I wasn't paying that close attention to charts. I did ask for entrance into the Bravo in Miami, but they were kind enough to help me out with that here. All right, so Charleston Air Force Base would be to our 11 o'clock. And this is the Stono and the Cooper River confluence.
Speed Racer 7, contact Charleston approach on 121.275.
Charleston approach on 121.75, Speed Racer 783. And it looks like I have had a Sayintentions glitch. It's no longer working. Interesting. Charleston departure, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you, northbound Cherry Point Naval Air Station.
Speed Racer 783, Charleston approach, good evening, Johns Island, altimeter 29901.
Johns Island 29901, altimeter, Speed Racer 7. Okay. Well, not sure what the glitch was about. Right, so we are now coming up over the,
Speed Racer 7, contact Jacksonville Center on 132.475.
Jacksonville Center, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you inbound for Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Jacksonville Center, good evening, Mount Pleasant, altimeter 29901.
Mount Pleasant, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. So there's another volume glitch with Sayintentions, so it is fluctuated back down on us. Anyway, back to Charleston. What a great place. It is also hot and humid in the summertime, but it's gorgeous. Lots of places to enjoy good food, good people. People are friendly. Another good vacation spot if you are looking for something that you haven't done before. Again, similar yet different to Savannah in terms of, you know, it's an older southern city. Lots of music and art and fun things to do. Again, if you're bored in Charleston, you're not trying hard enough. Okay, as we continue to make our way northbound, Myrtle Beach be next. And we'll play magical games again with the lighting. With flow. Lots of salt marsh. And also, key geographical feature here you're going to see is the Intracoastal Waterway. Brought to you by the United States Army Corps of Engineers. And if you like pine trees, this area of South Carolina will be in your wheelhouse. This is the Francis S. Marion National Forest. flat and sandy. And it's interesting how species of squirrel vary in the U.S. So squirrels in this part of South Carolina are black or gray. Black and gray.
Speed Racer 7, contact Charleston departure on 121.275.
Charleston departure, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you northbound to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Charleston departure. Good evening, Georgetown, altimeter 29901.
Georgetown, altimeter 29901. Speed Racer 7. So this would be Pawleys Island. Another great place to go hunt down seafood to eat. Places to vacation. Again, more golfing to be had. And then we're coming up quite rapidly on Myrtle Beach. And Myrtle Beach Air Force Base has been home to quite
Speed Racer 7, contact Myrtle Beach, approach on 119.2.
Quite a variety of aircraft over the years. When I was a wee lad, there were F-4 Phantoms based out of Myrtle Beach and would make quite a racket, so to speak. Myrtle Beach approach. Speed Racer 783 is with you northbound Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Myrtle Beach approach. Good evening, Georgetown, altimeter 29901.
Georgetown, altimeter 29901. Speed Racer 783. And then that air base was in transition to A-10s, so I remember seeing those fly around as well. And that's another airframe that just refuses to go away. Bert is alive and well. Great airframe. Very unusual looking. High fit to purpose, I guess. Okay, coming up on South Myrtle Beach here. Somewhere in the neighborhood of about 200 golf courses and counting. If you need a seafood buffet, a pancake house, or a golf course, you're good here. And this area of the South Carolina coast has grown significantly. All right, so here's the old air base / Myrtle Beach International. Lots of campgrounds are in this area too, so I'm sure they are slowly but surely disappearing. Lots of high-rise condos and such. And we're rapidly coming up on the other airfield that's here, to the north side of Myrtle Beach. So then next up, major geographical feature will then be the Cape Fear River at Wilmington. which will be there probably in less than 10 minutes or so. The Big M Floating Casino. There you go. Yeah, there are dinner and gambling cruises that depart Myrtle Beach. I had forgotten about those. And this is going to be Ocean Isle and then Holden Beach to our 9 o'clock here. And you're going to find several little general aviation airstrips kind of scattered here and yon. This will be Holden Beach and then Oak Island. And there is a municipal airport here. And they do helicopter tours, and they drag around the beach banner to encourage you to stop in and buy a t-shirt. This is another beautiful part of the North Carolina coast.
Speed Racer 7, contact Wilmington departure on 118.25.
Contacting Wilmington departure 118.25, Speed Racer 7. All right, so we're coming up on the Bald Head Island Lighthouse, which is going to be right off of my nose. I'm going to go over the top of Old Baldy. So this is a don't drive a car community, so it's golf carts or walking. So there's Bald Head Island right there. And that lighthouse is not baked into the sim, but available on Flightsim.to as an add-in. And this is the Cape Fear River. And that would be Southport to our 9 o'clock. And we are also getting ready to go over the top of the North Carolina Aquarium. And as we make our way to the north, we'll be coming up over the top of Carolina Beach, another little charming beach community here. I feel like the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce. At Wilmington departure, good evening. Speed Racer 783 is with you northbound for Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Good evening.
Speed Racer 783, Wilmington departure, good evening, Southport altimeter 29901.
Southport altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 7. Yeah, this one's been a little bit longer than normal live stream. Thank you for being along for the flight tonight. If nothing else, hopefully I've given you some good vacation opportunities to consider. And you'll consider maybe picking up this T-38 because it is quite good. If you like military jets, I think you'll enjoy this one. That's our recommend here at the doghouse at any rate. Not every system is modeled, but it doesn't have to be fully modeled to be fun. And this definitely puts the U in fun. And this would be Atlantic Beach if I am keeping current with where we're at. And then we'll be making our turn to the northwest here, make our approach into Cherry Point. And if you have Miltech's carrier add-on pack, there's a carrier here off of the North Carolina coast. Perfect fun for the F-35. If you don't have that aircraft, you need to pick that one up. That one is a lot of fun as well.
Speed Racer 7, contact Cherry Point departure on 119.35.
Cherry Point departure. Speed Racer 783 is with you. We are inbound for final destination, Cherry Point.
Speed Racer 783, Cherry Point departure, good evening, Holly Ridge, altimeter 29901.
Holly Ridge, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. Cherry Point departure, Speed Racer 783, requesting clearance to land Cherry Point.
Speed Racer 7, clear to land runway 27, winds 260 at 10.
Clear to land runway 27, winds 260 at 10, Speed Racer 7. All right, through the magic of flow again. Lights back on. All right, we'll start getting our situation situated here.
Speed Racer 7, contact Washington Center on 135.75.
Washington Center, good evening. Speed Racer 783, we are inbound Cherry Point Naval Air Station.
Speed Racer 783, Washington Center. Good evening, Sneeds Ferry, altimeter 29901.
Sneeds Ferry, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. Okay, so we've already got our landing clearance for runway 27. And we can see Cherry Point for our 11 o'clock. And we'll continue to make our descent. I really appreciate everybody being along for the flight tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this will...
Speed Racer 7, contact Cherry Point departure on 119.35.
either confirm or deny that you want to pursue getting this particular bird. I think it's great fun. It's definitely worth $14 US for sure. Cherry Point departure, Speed Racer 783 with you downwind. Runway 27.
Speed Racer 783, Cherry Point departure. Good evening, Swansboro, altimeter 29901.
Swansboro, altimeter 29901, Speed Racer 783. And I am slowly making my way over to the feathers for Cherry Point. We'll be turning finals here in just a few minutes. Cherry Point Tower, good evening. Speed Racer 783.
Speed Racer 783, Cherry Point Tower, make straight in for runway 23 left.
Yeah, it's funny. They told me 23 left. There's no 23 left. There's 23 right. I'm looking at the chart. Oh, no, there is 23 left. Yep. Not bad. Strike that. Reverse it. Cherry Point Tower, Speed Racer 73, making straight in for runway 23 left.
Speed Racer 7, continue straight and 23 left.
This is the most curvy 2-3 left straight in the history of history. But that's okay. Mistakes will be made. All right, back out here over the river. Calling down the river. We might as well fly back over it. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, I can see 2-3 right and 2-3 left. And we are cleared 2-3 left. All right, finally got 3 green lights here for the gear.
Speed Racer 7, winds 270 at 10. Runway 23 left, cleared to land.
Wind 070 at 10, cleared to land. Runway 23 left, Speed Racer 7. And we're down. All right, here we go. We are good. Cherry Point Crown, Speed Racer 783, requesting taxi to parking.
Speed Racer 7, taxi to park, stand 62 at your discretion. Good day.
Stand 62 at my discretion. Speed Racer 783, good day. Speaking of good day, thank you for being along for the flight. Hopefully that was an enjoyable experience. Thanks for being here. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you as a channel member. More content coming out later this week, first and next. And I do hope everybody is keeping well. Thanks again for being along for the flight from Key West to Cherry Point Naval Air Station. Appreciate you being here. And as always, keep well. And cheers, y'all.